to Season 2 of the Rowdy Rider Podcast. Hello. The reason that we are right now, I'm in a little bit of a mad mood is because this is like the third take of filming the very first episode. This should not be happening. So hopefully this time will work. So yeah. Anyways, hello riders. Welcome to Season 2 of the Rowdy Rider Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Fajardo, and I'm also here with
Kayla Hanley.
For today's video, we thought we'd do a little get to know your host episode. So you guys get to know us better as hosts and as people. Get to know about facts about us and things like that. So with that being said, Kayla, do you want to... So let's just get into this episode. So Kayla, do you want to start us off by introducing to yourself?
Sure. So my name is Kayla Hanley, and I'm one of the hosts for the podcast this year. I'm a senior at Roosevelt, and this is my first full year at Roosevelt, but I'm on track to graduate early, so I came here in the middle of my junior year. I came here from Rocky in Fort Collins, and I lived there my entire life before we moved here in March. I have two older sisters. One is in Fort Collins, and one is in El Paso, Texas. I have two dogs, and we just got them both over 2 years ago. When I was at Rocky, I played tennis for my freshman and sophomore year, and then my junior year, I participated in DECA, and I qualified for state, but I moved before I was able to participate in it. And also, I went to Italy in my 8th grade year. And then here at Roosevelt, I'm part of the Interact Club, and that's about it.
All right. So a lot of you guys already know me, but those who don't know me, that you should, my name is Josh Fajardo, and I have been the host of the Rowdy Rider Podcast since Season 1 of the second semester last year. Really should be the first semester of it. Don't know why I haven't think of the idea of faster, because for some reason you guys love it. So I'm also known as Ghostboy1001 on YouTube. I post vlogs about my life and share these moments, those moments, to the internet and add some cool special effects like transitions and other cool things like that. I've played soccer here at Roosevelt for all 4 years. I was the goalie most of the time, so I had a really good position and career on that. As well, I played football for my senior year here at Roosevelt, which should be all 4 years, really. Turns out football turned out to be a lot of fun. Just wish I didn't slack off and do the things that things I really should have done. Yeah. Where was I? I went on a week-long cruise, Alaskan cruise, to different parts of Alaska, and went to Canada, which was Victoria. Victoria, Canada was just beautiful over there. I was on 9 News with a group of people to promote a football game last year. Well, not last year, like during my senior or junior year. Sophomore or junior year. Sorry. I was voted as one of the top 3 players to get Tri-Valley All-Conference award. I am also deaf in my left ear, so which means this year is not working, in my right ear over here, which is working. I'm a crippled man. Some of you may know me. You guys also may know my dad, Tom Fajardo, or Mr. Fajardo. He is the head boys soccer coach, and he also helps out with Miss Borson's speech class. So seniors, just be aware of it. If you guys are contemplating in fear of my dad, come talk to me. And I think that's all about myself. So let's now just jump into the questions about. So let's now jump asking each other questions about what we just shared. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. So you mentioned you have a YouTube channel. When did you start that?
I started my YouTube channel on May 22nd, 2015. So at the end of my 8th grade year of middle school, and really I wanted just to get into the YouTube thing, a whole YouTube scene. I noticed that YouTube was like really popular, starting to rise up back then. So I always wanted to make a channel, but my parents are like, "But you're too young. We're gonna wait until you're like until you're 8th grade." I'm like, "Okay." I really wish I could have started YouTube a lot earlier. so I can know like so I can learn based off like what I did back then. I mean, I still learn like learn new things now, but I wish I can feel myself back then. Also, get to hear what my voice was like during my sixth grade year, fifth grade year, like whatever. Um, so at first it was like when I first started my channel, it was just a bunch of different things. I wanted to experiment. Like I did gaming for a while, and I did like a couple of like update videos and things like that. My very first video, still to this day, is cringe. I was shy back then. So gosh, just it was weird back then. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know how to edit back then. But progressively as over time, I went on to actually I used a editing software actually on this computer, which is actually I think it's right here. It's the Windows Live Movie Maker. So I first started off with that, and then I went over to my phone and used iMovie, which is a lot easier to do. I recommend iMovie to you guys, either on iPhone or Mac, easy, or on desktop or something like that. But I first started off with that. I didn't really know about Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro and basic things like that. So I started from there and then went up to myself to get Adobe Premiere, and I learned a bunch of new things. I know how to make like VHS edits, VHS like tape like edits, like effects and things like that. Actually, I might edit like on during like the podcast so I can show what people like what I mean and things like that. But it was actually YouTube's fun. I'm actually working on a project right now, which is taking me a very long time. So stick around for that, because it's one of the most biggest projects I have ever been involved with. I really hope you guys will like it. So yeah, my YouTube channel name is Ghostboy1001. Is actually on the green screen right behind us as well. Make sure to go check it out. Watch a couple of your vids. Subscribe because I'm desperate. And give me views. And yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. You mentioned you were playing soccer all 4 years and you got a Tri-Valley All-Conference Award. What was that like?
Wait, what was that like?
Yeah, like to get the award.
It was really shocking, really. I didn't even know that I was going to get an award at all. I was actually taking pictures for the yearbook when I was over at my last ever banquet. Just, taking pictures. And actually, the funny thing is, I actually got a little bit of an argument with my mom about taking pictures. She's like, put the camera down. I'm like, Mom, I'm doing pictures for the yearbook. I cannot lose my job. And then all of a sudden, my dad calls me up. He's like, oh, that's what she meant. So, Mom, I'm sorry for arguing back with you. And what a Tri-Valley League Award is, that's one of the, like as I said before, it's the top. You get it for being in like the top 3 players of your team, and then there's honorable mentions for that award as well. And how you get it is, I believe you just have to play the best as you can. I believe, but it's not something's really weird about it because it's like all state awards, right? Mm-hmm. But so I got a star pin. I just didn't know. I did not know if it's that or something else. I don't know, but I mean, when I first got it, actually, I was surprised, shocked, and I feel blessed. So.
And then you went on an Alaskan cruise. Was that like with your family for fun, or like what? Like, why did you guys go to Alaska?
So the whole reason I went to Alaska was actually my grandparents. They actually bought us tickets. Well, with my family and my dad's side of the family. So his sister's family, which sadly passed away. So we were all went on this cruise like for like 7 days, and we didn't really get on the cruise because we didn't we're not rich like rich people. So. It was actually a really good experience for us. And actually, my grandparents, they live in San Jose, actually. I have no idea what they do for a job. I know my pops does a painting, like a little painting side of job. So, I have no idea how much money he makes. And I actually have no idea what my ama does. But once they told us like they wanted to take us on, I was shocked really. But the whole cruise itself, it was fun, and also the food over there is free. I mean, you get like this little card, you put it in, and like you get like a New York Star pizza. That's free. And like I think soft drinks are also free. I just can't remember. But you know, like how every hotel like has like the drinks accessories inside the room, it just costs like money.
Oh, the little mini fridges.
Yeah, like the water. The water was like $5 on that. I'm like, no, that's way too much for water. But also, I saw that Vine as well. It's like the guy's like, he's like, why does water cost money? There's water like there's free water right here. It's the sink water. So that's what I did. I may not have refilled the jug of water. You may never know. So we went to different parts of Alaska and went to Victoria. So we went to, if I remember correctly, Juneau, Sitka, Ketchikan, and then Victoria, Canada. And then our second day on our cruise was just to sea. There's like literally nothing. You wake up, no land in sight. You're like, what happened?
It would be weird. I've never thought about like waking up on a boat and like
seeing
water.
no land.
Yeah.
But also like the ship, oh, it's so relaxing. Like when you use like when you get into bed, do you know like how those like like rocking chairs as a baby?
Cradles?
Yeah. Like the ship looks slowly like do this a little bit. Oh, I fell asleep to that like right away. It felt like paradise. My sisters, I believe they got sick, like seasick for one of the days.
That would suck.
Oh, definitely. And also, actually, the funny thing and scary thing was that there was like 2 cruise ships. So there was us, the Holland America Aerodam, I think that's where our ship was called, and then there was another one, which is like a much more richer one, which like I forgot what it's called. It's like the Princess something. I forgot what it was, but as it turns out, there was a couple on the wrong ship, so they had to get like a jet ski over to the other ship and then bring the other 2 back to my ship while we were at sea.
Are you really?
Yep.
That would have sucked.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
And also the biggest thing I was scared of the ship leaving us when we're on the dock. And also my mom was so scared. She's like, okay, stay on the ship, because if one of us leave and the ship leaves, they're gone. Like they're gone on the trip. The ship cannot come back. So.
I mean, I would make sure I'm on the ship, because like if you guys like didn't get on it, like that sucks for you guys. I'm gonna go enjoy the cruise though. we'll meet up eventually at some point somehow.
It's just so scary to see that. Have you heard like have you heard the recent news about a mom being left behind while her kids were still on the ship? And thank goodness her dad, like her husband, was still on the ship. So the mom got left behind, and the others just went away with the kids as well.
That would suck.
Oh yeah, and then the best the best place to go was to Victoria, just because it's like Victoria's like near like the boat, like where all the boat docks are. Like there's like the little like ship, like little boats, like fishing boats, and also you get to see like this beautiful sunrise as well, which was amazing. But in Alaska, I have to say it was Juneau, the very first place. We went to ziplining over there actually. I think we also went on an alpine slide. I can't remember.
An alpine slide?
Yeah, alpine slides are fun. Have you been on an alpine slide before?
I don't know what that is.
It's okay. Do you know like those like one of those little scooters you sit on, and there's like a little like zigzag. It's in a Steamboat. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I've never done that. That looks like fun though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fun. We went over there to Steamboat, and Steamboat actually has it over there, and I think Estes Park as well. But yeah, like the alpine side is fun. I always got scared because you know like how like there's like curves like this. People, I'm scared mine will go up a little bit and then I'll just fly. I'll be airborne. But
The experience.
oh yeah, oh great thing to be into Alaska and getting flew off. Yeah, so that was like my big my journey to like Alaska and things like that.
Um, yeah, I think that's all my questions.
Okay. So as you said, that this is your first full year here at Roosevelt. Were you here before?
For a little bit, yeah. So because I moved here in March of my junior year, I was here for like the last quarter at Roosevelt for my junior year. So I was here before, but I wasn't. It's not like I really did a whole lot. It's not like I was like super involved in anything because I was only here for like a little bit. But yeah, I started this year here.
Okay, and where's Rocky again?
So Rocky's in Fort Collins. I think it's north of Johnstown. I'm not really sure. I should know that. I don't. But yeah, it's in Fort Collins. It's like an hour-ish away from here. It's kind of in like the middle of the city, kind of ish. It's really like it's a good place for a school. There's a lot of stuff around it. It's nice.
Okay, and you said is it bigger than Roosevelt?
Yeah. So like the size of the actual building and then the amount of students that go here, it's about 3 times the size. I had to do a project there, so I actually got like to figure out like they did like a pretty like they did a count of the students and there were like 2,300 my junior year. Yeah, and then as big as like the school actually is, I don't know for sure, but there are at least like 150 classrooms.
150. Oh my gosh.
I'm fairly sure. Like there were. Yeah, like I'm gonna like I could totally be wrong, but like I'm pretty sure. It was a really big school.
It's like bigger than it's like. Is it kind of like UNC a little bit, or is it like tiny bit more smaller than UNC?
Oh, I've never actually been to UNC, so I don't know.
Okay.
But
And you say you're being on track to graduate early?
yes, so this is my senior year, and technically I'm like expected to graduate in May of 2020, but I have enough credits to graduate in December this year. Graduate a semester early, so I'm pretty excited about that.
So are you going to graduate early, or do you want to like just stay in another year until May, or do you want to?
As long as I pass everything, because I have an off period right now.
Yeah, this is second hour while we're recording this, by the way.
So I have an off period, but I have enough classes. Like as long as I pass everything, I can graduate early. But I mean, if I like have to stay until May, it's not a big deal because then I'd be graduating on time. But I would like to graduate early.
Graduating early actually sounds like much more less stress and more relieved. I know some of my friends graduated, but I heard one of them said, "I wish I can stay for the second one so I can graduate with you guys," because he had to go to college like right away.
Yeah, I totally get that. When I was at Rocky, I was still gonna graduate early, and like I actually kind of contemplated a lot, because I really wanted to walk with my class. And so I actually talked to my counselor, and I was like, if I graduate early, like, can I still walk with them? And she was like, as long as you're here, I don't see why not. And I was like, cool, like, I'm planning on that then. Because, yeah, and, like, some kids stay for sports, which, like, I admire that dedication. Like, that's pretty neat. You're taking a whole another semester of school for a sport. Like, good for you, because that's great.
All right, and what was Fort Collins like? What's the difference between Johnstown and Fort Collins?
I think the biggest difference is like just the amount of people. Like the traffic in Fort Collins is absolutely awful compared to here. Like there would definitely be some times like not even like in the middle of the day. Like you'd be like at night at like 9 at night or like 6 in the morning driving, and like it would almost take like 10 minutes to drive a mile because there was that much traffic and there were that many people on the road. So I think the biggest difference is just the amount of people. Like no matter where you go in Fort Collins, there are people there. Like there's always people, there's always something going on. So moving here, the traffic downsizing was absolutely wonderful because I used to spend like 2 to 3 hours in a car every day, and now it's like 10 minutes at most, and that's just getting to and from school. So like, it's excellent.
All right. And do you definitely like Johnstown a lot better?
Um, I there are things I do like about it more. 'Cause yeah, again, the amount of people was just like overwhelming, but there were a lot of places to go that were all like really close. Like no matter where you lived, like less than half a mile, like there was like a grocery store and like a clothing store and probably a gas station and like some sort of like park or library or something like that. So that was really cool because like you could go do anything without a car. And so here like there's still like a lot of closer things. It's just like there was just more because there were more people. But it's just like quieter here, and I kind of like it. Like.
Oh yeah, we're definitely known to be like more quiet.
Well, and like Fort Collins is growing so fast, and so
Also, it's Johnstown too. We expanded. I hear that we're expanding to I-25, I believe.
Oh, I mean like the population though.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's just because it started really big, and like people just keep moving there, and so like it just like it was cool to have stuff to do, but like there's always some crazy thing going on, and it's just like nice to kind of just like calm down for a year since I lived there my entire life. So just kind of like take a year out of there and just like kind of breathe.
Oh yeah, that sounds a lot of things. Let's see, the last thing that I moved, when I was young, I was in Washington before I moved to Colorado. I did not remember much then, but I remember mine was like a small town next to, crud. It was next to like a freeway, so it was loud all the time. So like I prefer like to have quiet than loud, if that makes sense. Okay. So as well, you say you have two older sisters, one that's living in Fort Collins, and you said there's one living in El Paso, Texas, on a military base. So, if you know much from your sister that lives in Texas, on a military base, tell me like how her normal life goes, if you can.
Okay, yeah. So she lives in El Paso, Texas, on Fort Bliss, which, contrary to the name, it's absolutely awful there, only because of the heat. Like, it's not actually, like, that bad living on a military base. She's lived there for, I think, like, 2 years now, a year and a half, and it's really not too different from, like, a normal neighborhood would be. The only, like, the biggest major difference is to buy anything anywhere, no matter what it is, you have to have, like, a little, like, card that like proves that you live there. And so like if I were to go visit my sister, she would have to be with me, so I could buy anything, which I don't know, I think that's a little bit weird, but I think that's because it's like something to do with sales tax. I really am not sure about it. I don't know. But as far as like her day-to-day life, it's really not that different from like a normal neighborhood, because like it's just like a group of military people. It's like military housing more or less. Like that's kind of what it is, except there's like their training courses there and stuff. And so it's fairly normal, other than the fact that like you can't buy stuff without that little card.
Okay. Like have you seen like any tanks roll by, like her base or anything, or her home?
So she's never seen any like moving, but there is a little like
compound of like not working tanks.
Yeah, there's like, well, it's like a little old car garage, and there are like old cop cars and like older cars that just don't work anymore. And there actually is like one that she's seen there before, and she's like been able to like get up close and like touch it before. But they don't work anymore. But she has seen one.
Just in fact of just living on the base sounds crazy enough.
Yeah, I know she's told me she really likes it because like a lot of the people there are either in the military or like married, and so like because there are a lot of guys there who are married, and so when they're like deployed, there are a ton of girls there who are just like hanging out, and so like
So girls' night.
it's like a girls' night every night when their husbands are deployed, and so like they all have like relatively the same like values and things, so like they're already like have something to relate to, so becoming friends like isn't that hard. And,
Hey, is your husband deployed? Yeah. How about yours? Me too. Do you want to go hang out? Sure.
yeah, for real, you know.
That sounds like every girl's dream right there, though. I love that. And also, going back to your high school, you also played tennis for 2 years. So tell me how your practices, like how do practices go, and what do you do?
Yeah, so I played it my freshman and my sophomore year, and I was terrible at the game. Like, not gonna lie, I was awful, but it was still a lot of fun. And so for the practices, we practiced 5 days a week for 2.5 hours, and so for the first hour was mostly running. Like, we would just kind of run. Like, we would run around the courts, and we would do like suicides, and we would do like bleachers sometimes, and just a whole lot of running. And then we'd also do like some of like other like traditional workouts, kind of like sit-ups and like burpees and like lunges and like other things like that. So we just like kind of worked out for the first hour, and then the second like part of practice we sometimes we focused on like certain skills, but we played a lot of games too. Like we just scrimmaged a lot. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like I was so bad at it, and it was still fun. So like that was pretty cool.
Okay. And tell me how the tournaments go, or how do they work?
So the tournaments are a little bit weird because like instead of having like one full team versus another full team, you have like the first set of like the Rocky girls versus like the first set of the other school. And then you have like normally it's like 9 sets per or like teams per school team, and so it's not like everybody plays everybody. They just like the best play the best of like every school, and then like the middles play like their number, and so you don't play everyone. You just play like your number in each team, and like since they're different numbers, some people play more games than others, which like sometimes that like really sucks because sometimes like whoever you're playing with, like you'll end up playing like four games that day while like someone else only plays one, and it's like you can't really like rearrange that because of skill level. And some days like you're the team that only gets to play one, so like you just kind of like get to sit around and like watch everybody for a few hours.
So it's skill level, not like weight base.
Yeah, no, it's skill. And they were fun. Like our games and our tournaments were very similar since like people are rotating out all the time anyway. Especially when like there was one court that had like 7 tennis courts, so when we had 7 games going at once, like
Oh my gosh.
that was crazy. And like honestly, there were little breaks in between each court, but you could still like go from one all the way to the other one. And so there were definitely a few times where like people had to like stop their games because like someone else like hit the ball over to that court, but it didn't happen all the time, and it was a lot of fun. And like to listen, especially when you weren't playing, to hear 7 games going all at once, like the sound of the tennis ball hitting the tennis rackets was like kind of cool. Like to just hear like all of it at once.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So is there like halves, or like do you know like how soccer and football, like do you know like they have like half times or like that, or like quarters? Is there?
Oh yeah. So no. The scoring is kind of weird. So like you start at 0 and then it's 15, 30, and then 40, I think, and then it's the game, and you either play to like 6 or 8 games. So you just kind of like take like a 1-minute break after each game, but there's no like halftime because the games are normally like super short. Because it's 4 points for a score, and then you have to like score 8 times. So they're normally pretty short, so there aren't any like laid out breaks. I mean, if like the other team wants a break and y'all are like good for a break, like you can hang out for a minute. Like no one can really stop you since you're the ones playing. So
Okay,
and
oh, no, sorry. Go
it's
ahead.
kind of cool because like you get to like meet the other people on the other team. Like because like when it's a bigger team, it's not like you're really like talking to the other teammates, but when it's two people and two people, like you normally introduce yourself before you start playing, so like you actually get to like kind of talk to the other like people on the team and meet new people. And it's really cool, like, when you play other teams, like, other schools that your friends are on from, like, elementary school. It's like, whoa, I haven't seen you in forever, and, like, now we're competing. Like, that's kind of cool. So I just like how it's, like, you actually get to, like, talk to people.
Oh yeah, that's like definitely like one of the biggest things in sports. Get to know people that like you like, the sports that you like or the things that you're also involved with.
Well, right, because, like, on a sports team, like, you obviously have at least some of the same interests. You're on a sports team together, so, like, it's already, like, base ground for, like, making friends.
Okay, and there was a tennis team to Roosevelt. Will you definitely join that?
Yeah, honestly, like, the biggest reason I joined tennis is because it's not, like, a full team thing. I just kind of don't like that whole, like, reliance of, like, people relying on me relying on others, because, like, I don't have it all together most days, and so, like, especially on, like, a sports team that, like, a lot of people are using to, like, get into college, like, that's, like, I'm not trying to mess that up, and so I think tennis was just, like, really good, because, like, if you're playing, like, singles, it's only you, and if you're a doubles team, like, it's one other person, and, like, it's, like, not, like, that, like, intense of a sport. It's just, like, a lot of fun. Well, it can be a very intense sport. But, yeah, I think I would. I just really liked it. Like, it was just a lot of fun. And I feel like tennis is one of those sports that, like, people aren't, like, super, like...
Involved?
My whole life depends on this. And, like, they understand, like, that, like, if you can't go to a practice, like, there are other things that, like, you have to do as a person. And so, like, it's just, like... You know, if you miss a day, like, it's not like you're going to fall, like, you're going to, like, erase the whole, like, 2 years of practice you've done. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And, okay, so in your junior year, you qualified for state in DECA.
Yeah.
First off, what is DECA?
So, I should know what it stands for. It's an acronym. I don't. It's DECA, but I don't have a single idea for what it stands for. But in DECA, we did, like, it's basically, like, business competitions, kind of, so like...
So kind of like FBLA?
I think so. I think FBLA is a little bit more involved. There's, like, a lot more to it. But I think it's similar.
And FBLA is that Future Businesses Leaders of America?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, like, really common things that we did in DECA were, like, we would, like, come up with, like, a business plan for, like, an entrepreneurship thing, or, like, one that was also actually really common that, like, I feel like I would have really struggled with was, like, there was a hospitality and tourism assignment, and, like, you had to plan out a trip, like, using a budget and, like, a certain amount of people and, like, all this stuff. I think I, like, had a plan for I did, like, an economics lesson about, like, teaching kids why it's important to save money.
Saving money is always good.
Yeah, it was really difficult. I picked first graders, and I don't know what first graders are capable of. I like, they're, like, 7 and 8, you know, so, like, I don't know what a 7 and 8-year-old can do. Like, you could like, point out a kid to me, like, they're 5, and I'd believe it, and you could tell me they're 9, and I'd believe it. So, like, I don't know what first graders are capable of. And I don't mean this to be rude to them, but, like, I definitely overshot it. Like, I definitely...
You over-explain things?
No, I just, I feel, like, really bad saying this. Like, I get that they're first graders. I just, like, I expected too much. Which, like,
okay.
you know, that's on me. I don't know what first graders know. Like, the teacher that, like, was there, she was like, oh, like, this is, like, a great idea. They're just now learning how to start counting coins. And I was like... Oh, like, they don't, like, a quarter and a dime, like, they can't tell the difference yet, and she was like, nope, and I was like...
Oh, no. What did I get myself into?
Like, I maybe could have planned this a lot better, but yeah, I got second, and that was super cool, because I tried to do it my freshman and sophomore year, and it fell through, and so my junior year, like, me and a ton of friends did it, and I did a solo project, and I still, like, placed second, and that was super cool, so...
Nice.
Yeah.
And And you said you moved before it took place of your the DECA state
Yeah,
qualified?
so districts was in November of 2018, and then state was in March of 2019, or February of 2019, and I thought I was moving in December, and then January, and then February, and then we did move in March. So it happened the last week of February, and I was there in February. I was there that week, and I could have participated, but I had to know a week after districts if I was going to be able to participate, because if not, like, my replacement had to know so they could, like, do their project. And so while, like, it was in November, and I was like, well, I'm moving next month, like, I'm not going to be here. And then 3 months later, state rolled around, and I was there. I just wasn't able to participate, and I was very upset about it.
Man.
Yeah. Like, I was there. I thought I wasn't going to be there, but then I was. And, like, honestly, I kind of wish I hadn't been there so I wouldn't be so upset about being there. Like, it would have been better to not have been there so I could have been like, oh, man, like, I would have never even had a shot at all. But, like, I had a shot, and then I just, like, wasn't able to take it. I was kind of salty about it. But
did you have fun, though?
yeah, we were at CSU, which is in Fort Collins, and while I was there, one of my friends texted me and was like, my boyfriend just broke up with me. And I was like, dude, I'm literally, like, participating in a competition. Like, I wish I could help you. I don't know what to tell you, like, and, like, the friends I was there, that, like, I was with, like, one of them could drive, and we had the whole day excuse, so, like, after the competition, like, we went out and got lunch, and then, like, we went back to my house for a little bit, and, like, I had a really fun day that day. And, like, also, I was the only one out of, like, there were, like, 6 kids from Rocky that qualified, and I was one of them. And, like, I didn't do that great in school so, like, qualify for state in an extracurricular thing, like, that was kind of cool. Because it's, like, the only, like, academic achievement I have, so.
Okay.
I put that on a very high pedestal. I love it.
Are you planning to join any other clubs like FFA, FCCLA, or?
I thought about doing FBLA, and I'm still like I kind of am still thinking about it, but I think I'd rather do Interact just because I've already done a sort of business-like thing, and I think what Interact does will help me a little bit more, like, with what I want to do. Because, like, I've done volunteering for, like, several years over the summer until I got a job, and so I would like to still, like, volunteer while having a job, so having, like, the school, like, basically, like, hand me volunteer options, like, I don't really have to, like, go out of my way to do it. So I just really want to put, like, a lot of time into that club instead, so I think that's the only one I'm going to do. I've thought about FBLA, and, like, I think Mr. Yost is, like, a super cool teacher. I just really want to focus my time on Interact.
Okay. Okay, so one of my last few questions for you is, you went to Italy, for one of your trips. What was that all about?
Yeah, so in my 7th grade year, they started, like, the middle school I went to did trips, like, to different continents all the time, like, every summer and spring break. And so when I was in 7th grade, they were, like, promoting the Italy one for what would have been my 8th grade year. And so, you know, like, I went home one day and I was like, yeah, they're having this Italy trip. It'd be cool if I could go. And I kind of brought it up to my parents as, like, a total joke. Like, if I could go, that'd be cool, right? But, like, I wasn't expecting them to say yes. And they were
like nudging them, like, I want you, but not really.
Yeah, like, I know you can't, but if I could, that'd be cool. And they were like, well, maybe we can. And I was like,
what?
Hold on, what was that again? Like, for real? And so, yeah, I had always done, like, I'd always struggled in school and still done really well, like, at the end of it all, like, I still had really high grades, even though, like, actually going through school was really hard. And so they were like, you know, like, you've done really well, like, middle school was a really just, like, difficult time for my parents, and so they were like, you know, like,
it was difficult for my life, middle school.
Oh my god, no, yeah, middle school is terrible. Don't go to middle school. Just, you know, skip that. But, like, yeah, they were like, I think, like, since it's a year and a half away, like, we can pull that together. And like if you like kind of like do some things here and there, like your grades have already like you've earned it, you know. And so then like I went to Italy and it was so cool. Like it just kind of still feels like super surreal because of like what the experience was like. I don't know, like, you know, it's that whole like tourist thing where like every single day you wake up and you're excited to like go, ooh, you're gonna go see the sky, but like it's the sky in Italy, so it's different. And like you're gonna go see birds, but they're Italian birds, you know. Like, but it was still super cool. And like we went to Venice and pigeons were everywhere, and a pigeon landed on a girl's head. That was super cool. She was like cool about it too. Like I can't imagine being that calm if a bird just landed on my head, you know. Like she was all cool.
Oh, it's like a bird landing on your head. Oh, hey, what's up, fam?
Pretty much, like for real.
And then
like,
Americans come in, you're like, what?
well, no, she was like part of our like school trip. Like she.
Oh,
was,
seriously?
Yeah, she was like one of the kids that was with us, and like a bird landed on her head. She was so calm about it.
What?
Like I had a ton of friends that went on that trip, and like most of those friends like I had made like a year or two before, so we were like pretty close, and like so I got to spend like 10 days with some like my best friends, and I don't talk to any of them anymore, but like I still think about Italy, and like I'm still sure like if we ever saw each other we'd be like, do you remember that Italy trip? Like that was so cool. Like I just, yeah, like I'm so glad the people who were there because like actually one of them I still know, but
Great Italy experience. You see a bird landing on.
yeah, it was crazy. And like we also went to Vatican City, where like
Oh, did you guys get to go to the Leaning Tower Pizza or the Eye of London? I think.
the London Eye. No, that would have been cool.
Or Big Ben.
No.
Oh, Big Ben was a big part of Italy history. How come you guys didn't? Okay.
Yeah, but and then also we went to a torture museum. It had like old torture devices. That was. The building was like super sketchy and super dark, but.
Oh yeah, when we were like we were shooting, she keeps like coming up with the torture.
Yeah, dude.
museum.
Oh my god, because where you gonna Google that and find one in America? Probably not. Like they got like.
Italy's weird.
Guillotines and like closet of nails and like they got it all, dude. It was creepy actually. It was awesome.
And you said it was in the basement, right?
Yeah, dude. Like okay, so you walk into this like little tiny house looking place. Like it looks like you literally just walked into somebody's living room, except like there's a receptionist desk, and like you get like it was like really cheap for a ticket, which was super cool. Like you pay for your ticket and then like you walk through the little house thing and you turn to the left and there was like a super steep staircase into a super dark basement, and they give you little flashlights because they're like there are lights down there, just like.
But they're not as bright.
You can't really, like, your hand could be, like, this close to your face, and, like, that's as far as you can see, so, like, you whoop-de-doo. So, like, they have to give you flashlights, and it's, like, a big room with, like, a few things in it, and then a little hallway, and then a big room with a few things in it, and it's, like, super weird. And I think it's for, like, you know, it's a torture museum, it's supposed to be a little bit creepy, but, like, they outdid themselves. It was great. Wonderful experience.
Bruh. Just.
No, seriously, where are you
wow.
gonna see that, though? Like, I
think I'm gonna making the one of my best search engines ever. If you guys, I know you guys can't see my computer, but I'm searching up torture museums. Oh, there it is. That. Hold on. Let me go to images. Oh my, okay.
Okay, you know, if that wasn't it, it looked very similar to those. I don't think it was in London.
Okay.
It wasn't in London, but.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was in Italy. That's right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me make this change. There we go. Oh my god. What the?
Yeah,
Okay.
They actually had like fake little bodies to like show how it worked. It was really cool. But.
Did it like jump scare you guys?
Oh no, they didn't like move or anything. It was just like.
Oh, which
they
one?
have this like barrel where like. They put rats in it and they eat through your body. It's awful.
And what was this again?
I have no idea. I have my little ticket still actually, so I'll go find that and I'll let you know.
Okay.
One day.
All right.
Look forward to that in the future.
Okay. Oh yeah, and there's and one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So Are you excited for this year?
Oh my gosh, everyone walks in their freshman year and they're like, woo, we're freshmen, I can't wait to be a senior. And like, now I'm a senior. Like, whoa, that happened really fast. So like, I'm super excited. Like, not only am I graduating early, but like, I did not go through 13 years of high school to like, for nothing. Like, I'm gonna be excited this year because, woohoo, senior year, I get a diploma with a little piece of paper
And
with my
hopefully
name
not
on
get
it.
held back or not able to graduate.
Oh, I'll cry. I will just cry for days. 13 years of high school for seriously a piece of paper with my name on it. Like,
I had this serious conversation with my parents. You guys will also have one too, but they're like, Josh, you better graduate. If you don't, I'm not paying for you to go to another year in high school. I'm sorry. It's just
gotta graduate.
Oh yeah. And every parent will have that too. Did your parents like have that discussion with you?
I mean, I've always struggled in school, but I've also done really well, so it's never really been an issue. Like, we were actually expecting like me to graduate a year early, and then I just didn't do well freshman year at all.
I wish I could have done better my freshman year. I wish I would have listened a lot.
I literally probably now I go to class every day. Like, I'm on time most of the time. I do my homework, but like freshman and sophomore year, I probably went to like 30% of my classes. Like, I passed. I don't know how. I still passed my classes, but like, I wish I had learned something in them.
Same. I have no idea how I graduated from my physics and earth science because I had like a low D.
Oh my god, yeah, my earth system science class, I remember sitting, like, I was driving home one day from school, and I was like, wow, like, that's a really interesting cloud. I wonder what that means. And my mom was like, aren't you in like an earth system class? I was like, you think I've learned anything? Like, I passed that final by sheer luck, I swear. Blessed.
Did you like Google it or things like that? Did you ever like search up anything to
Yeah. My dad was like, that's a
We're just gonna go on Google here and type in cheating. There's your answer.
For my final, like, it was multiple choice, so like I had like a 25% chance of like getting most of them right, and some of them, like what's the next thing in the water cycle after evaporation? Like that one I knew. That one I learned in second grade. So that one I could answer. But like, yeah, it was a just bad class, and I had it for first period, so I was like never awake.
Okay. I think that's it. I think that's all for today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and one more thing, riders. We are as we were wearing right now, we have our Rowdy Rider Podcast T-shirts that we just made like last year. But I'm planning to maybe sell this at games for maybe like, I don't know. I'll think about a price soon. But I want to see if you guys will like me to sell it. So there will be a poll right here with an I in the corner. Just say yes or no to sell the T-shirts. And also I'm planning to make more like merch-wise and possibly accessory-wise, like lanyards and things like that. But I'll see how that goes. I might make a GoFundMe or anything like donation-wise. If you guys actually want to donate to the show, I might talk to some people about it. And yeah, I think that's it. Is there anything else you would like to say?
No, that's all.
Okay then. So yeah, riders, that has been it for the very first episode of season 2 of the Rowdy Rider Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. So please like, comment, and subscribe for more shows and episodes. Hopefully for our next show, we'll either be with our new principal, Dr. Littlefield, or with the Saya boys, Brandon Saya and Brock Saya. If you guys want to know anything about that, it'll be our social media links will be in the description below. I'll mostly post updates on our Twitter account, and also possibly Facebook and Instagram and things like that. We also just uploaded a SoundCloud account, which I have to be a manager of as well. But anyways, guys, have a good day. Stay awesome, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye. All right. That's it.